Welcome to our third class of ACCA F9 revision. In the agenda today, we will finish the discussion of the costs of the business finance. We will discuss about the WACC, the weighted average cost of capital calculation, which to be shared with you in the Dinla. These past paper questions, part A. And also we will discuss different topics related to business finance. For example, we'll discuss about the creditors hierarchy, whether any seniority of the claims from different parties. We'll discuss about economic finance versus conventional finance. Also, we will discuss about the business risk versus financial risk. We'll discuss about the rights issue. All these discussions will be shared with you from the first part to the fourth part. Okay, so here is what we will discuss about the calculation of WACC, as well as the business risk versus financial risk, as well as the economic finance versus conventional finance, also the rights issue. All these topics will be discussed. And after that, we will discuss we will discuss 6 objective test questions under our objective test question review. We will discuss about the concepts in the business finance. For example, the concept of cost of equity, the concept of asset beta, the concept about the systematic risk, also the calculation of the capital asset pricing model, also the theoretically expressed share price, and also with the help of the DGM, we share with you how to get the cost of equity. So all this will be discussed in the class today, which we will finish business finance. Okay, let's look into the first review question, which is the Dinla part 8. Here is the background, the background of the question. So you should read this carefully. If you find you're comfortable, then you can follow up. You can follow our explanations and discussion of these questions. And for these questions, Dinla company has the following capital structure, in which it states different parts. For example, here is the equity and preference shares, loan notes, also the bank loan. So therefore, Dinla has four types of financing. The first one is the equity. It has the ordinary shares issued at and trading at $4.26 per share on an ex-dividend basis, and has a nominal value of 25 cents per share. The ordinary dividends are expected to grow in future by 4%. So the growth rate given to you is 4% per year. Dividend per share is 25 cents, which was just paid. In addition to the shares, the equity, it has the preference shares, which is 5% preference shares. Its dividend market value, which is 56 cents per share, and the nominal value of this preference share is $1 per share. And these shares are irredeemable. It also has the loan notes, which is 6% loan notes, and it's traded in the market at $95.45 on an interest basis, in which it can be redeemed at nominal value at $100 in 5 years' time. So it's a redeemable loan notes, which is has 5 years times for the investors to redeem in 5 years times, and the bank loan, which is a fixed rate bank loan at 7% per annum, and the corporation tax rate is 25%. So all the information is given to you, and the requirement, or the first requirement, is to work at the weighted average cost of capital, or the after-tax weighted average cost of capital of the company on the market value basis. Okay, so in other words, here I just make sure you understand. Here is the book value. And you have to work on a market value weighted average cost of capital. So in other words, the book value is only for your reference, and you have to use the market value as the basis to work on the weighting, or the weight of each type of financing tools. Okay, so the question, the background, just share with you. Then right now we need to work on the first part, the part A, on the WACC calculation. The first step is to work out different costs of capital in different categories. For example, cost of equity, cost of preference shares, cost of loans, and also the cost of bank loans. And all these should be worked as after tax. Okay, so first part, step one is working on step one. Work at cost of equity, work at cost of preference share, cost of loan looks, and cost of bank loans. Okay, so for the cost of equity, which model that we are required to use, or we can adopt, because the information given here is the dividends growth rates, about the dividends, and also how much dividends that you pay. So suggested formula used is the DGM, dividend growth model. So remember, dividend growth model is D naught times 1 plus G. G is the dividend growth rate, divided by P naught, okay, plus the growth rate, G. So P naught is the current share price, the ex-dividend share price. Okay, E naught is the current dividends, or the latest dividend that you pay to the investors. G is the growth rate. So apply all these, apply this formula, which the parameters are given to you here. So here, the cost of equity will be, the D naught is 25 cents times 1 plus growth rate, which is 4% given to you, divided by P naught, which is $4.26, plus growth rate, which is 4%. So you got 10.1% for the cost of equity. Okay, so the first of all is you have to apply the correct formula in which you can get the numbers correct, because the information is already here. So next part is the cost of preference shares. The cost of preference shares. We know that the cost, the nominal value is $1, which is the nominal value. And the dividend rate is 5%. So per share, dividend is 5 cents. because it is irredeemable, and for preference shares, there's no tax benefits or no tax saving on a dividend payment because it is not the loan, which is the interest that you need to pay, which can have the tax savings on your interest paid. But right now here is the dividend. There's no tax benefits on the dividend paid to the shareholders or to the investors. So in other words, it is simple. A way to do it is the cost of preference share, which is the dividend divided by the market price, which is 56 cents, times 100%. So you can get 8.9% for the cost of preference shares. The cost of loan notes is the third part. It is a 6% loan note. Okay, 6% loan note. Then you can work out the NPV. Let's make a choice. Okay, remember for this loan note, it is the coupon rate is 6%. It is redeemable in 5 years, and redeemable value, which is $100. Okay, at nominal value, which is $100. And when we got all these numbers, okay, we can use linear interpolation method to estimate the cost of loan notes in this case, because it is redeemable debt. We can use this linear interpolation to do it. We assume, okay, the lowest should be 2%, and it should not be higher than 10%. Okay, so we apply this to work out the NPV at 2%, which is, we got the interest payment is $6. Okay, it is before tax. So remember, we all work it out is before tax. The annuity factor for 2% with 5 years is 4.713 times $6, which is the interest payment. Okay, you got 28.278 with discounting on nominal value or the redeemable value, which is the face value of the bond of the loan note, which is $100, and the discount factor, which is 0.606. Okay, so for these items, what you got is $100 and $180 on 878. Okay, what's your investment? Your initial investment is $95.45. So in other words, your NPV is $23.428. Okay, here is the 2%, the net present value at 2%. And follow the same logic, you can work out the NPV at 10%. Okay, which is the annuity factor at 10%, 5-year times. And also the discount factor at 5%. Okay. For the annuity factor 2% for 5-year, which is 3.791 times $6. And for the discount factor of 10% for 5 years, it should be 0.621, okay, times $100. So what you got here is 3.791 times $6, which is $22.746. And for the face value or the nominal value of the loan notes, which is $62.10. And all for this formula, you can get how much? $84 and 84 cents or 846, and you minus $95.45, which is you got the negative value of NPV at minus $10.06. Okay, so when you got these two numbers, you can work out the linear interpolation. Okay, the formula is 2% is the base plus the positive is 23.428 divided by 22.428 minus negative 10.604, all right, times 10% minus 2%. Okay, this interpolation, a linear interpolation, I don't think it is a very new to you, so because we have gone through a lot of times on this topic. So you got 2% plus 5.5%, and your answer is 7.5%. Okay, it's before tax, so after tax, 7.5% times 1 minus 25%, okay, which is 5.6%. And is the cost of loan notes. The last part is the bank loan, the cost of bank loan, number 4. The cost of bank loan, which is after tax rate, is 7% times 1 minus 25%. So you got 5.25%. Okay. So here is you can get all costs for each financing instrument. Okay, so for step 2, we need to work out the market value of each instrument. Okay, for the equity, okay, you check out the questions. We have the ordinary shares, 25 million, and 23 million, and the nominal value per share is 25 cents. So in other words, $1 equivalent to 4 shares. According to this ratio, we need to convert the nominal value into number of shares, which is 23 million divided by 25 cents times 4.26, which is the current market price, in which you get 391,920,000. Okay, is the equity. Preference shares. For preference shares, the market value is per share is how much? 56 cents times how many shares outstanding, also in circulation. We check the balance sheet. Preference shares, okay, it is 5 million in the book, and the nominal value is $1. So it is easy, which is 5 million in circulation in terms of the number of shares. For preference shares, it's 5 million. So you've got 2,800,000 for the preference shares market value. For the loan notes, market price is $95.45 divided by 100. 100 is the face value or the nominal value of the loan note, times, we check the book value. The book value is 11 million, in which it means 11 million at $100 for the nominal value. In other words, we times 11 million here. Okay, we got the market value for loan note. It is $10,499,500. Okay, it's the loan note market value. And last but not the least, the bank loan. Bank loan is easy because bank loan is just at the face value or the book value, which is 3 million here. $3 million. Okay, when we sum all of these items, including equity, including preference shares, including loan notes and bank loan, the total numbers gives you here is 408 and 219,500. Okay, based on this total value, then you can get each financial instruments rated here. The equity, which is 391, and then 920,000 divided by 408, 219,500 times 10.1%. Okay, so for this logic, we got the preference shares. Preference shares cost of capital. The preference shares cost of preference shares is 6.9%, and then we got the loan notes, which is 10499 and 500 divided by 408, 219,500 times after tax cost of loan notes, which is 4.6%. Plus the bank loan, which is 3 million divided by 408, 219, and 500 times after tax rate for bank loan, which is 5.25%. So you got a total. You got the cost of equity. Sorry, the cost of capital or the WACC, which is 9.9%. Okay, So let me repeat the steps and also how to get this number. First of all, the step one is to work on different instruments, different costs of each instrument. For example, we need to work the cost of equity here. We apply the DGM, dividend growth model, to work on the cost of equity here. And next part, we need to work out the cost of preference shares, because need to remind you the cost of preference shares based on the structure of the preference share, which is irredeemable financial instruments, and a fixed dividend rate, which is a 5% dividend rate. So we got the dividend per share, which is 5 cents, and divided by the investment. The initial investment per share is 56 cents, which is given to you in the questions. And then you got the numbers for the cost of shares by 8.9% here. Okay, so after the cost of preference shares, which is irredeemable preference shares, then we move next to the cost of loan notes, which is a 5-year loan notes, redeemable in 5 years' time. The face value is at $100 and 6% interest rate. For any redeemable notes or redeemable bonds, you can use linear interpolation to estimate the cost of that. Okay, here we first use the before tax interest, $6 here, but you are reminded it is also possible for you to use the after tax interest here in the calculation. So that we estimate the NPV of different assumptions. First, we assume 2%, which can give a positive NPV. And also we assume 10% discount factor, which will turn the NPV into negative territory. So in this sense, we have two numbers, which is one as positive numbers, the other is negative numbers, and then we can move on to next is to estimate by our linear interpolation formula here. And you got the before tax rate here because we use the before tax cash flow, and after tax is you have to adjust the tax ratio, the tax rate, and come to here 5.6%, the after tax cost of that. And cost of bank loan, okay, just to consider adjust the interest here. So you got adjustment to the interest rate, the interest to the bank loan holders. And step two, we have to estimate the market value of the instruments. First of all, the equity. Okay, we got equity, we got the preference shares, we got the loan note, and we got the bank loan. All this, when we got all this, so we can do the step 3. Estimate WACC. Okay, based on our information or based on our calculation just showed you. So we can estimate WACC by weighting each financial instrument's cost and get the weighted average cost of capital here. So I hope you are feeling well on these long WACC calculation questions.